All right, so that's a clear indication of what exactly we'll be talking about for the next few minutes, having to do with development in the Asin North constituency. So voting is currently underway. It started around 7 a.m. this morning, and some 41,000 voters are expected to cast their ballot to elect a member of parliament for the constituency in that crucial by-election. Voting started at 7 a.m. and is expected to close at 5. That's according to our constitution. The police have assured that adequate security measures have been put in place within the constituency in order to ensure security, law and order before, during and after the elections. And that comes on the back of what the IGP himself said when he gave a directive after meeting both the NDC and the NPP that their members of parliament who are in the constituency and other government appointees or high-profile citizens who have bodyguards should not carry ammunitions in the enclave or the constituency of Asin North because the IGP has deployed the rapid support forces who are already there to give adequate security. On the back of that, we know that the Interior Minister, that is Ambrose Derry, has also been speaking on this particular subject, and he says that barring police guards of MPs from using service guns was to ensure a level playing field without any intimidation. Ambrose Derry has been speaking exclusively with William Evans Inkum about the IGP's directive.
Orderly, and we hope that things will remain disorderly and let people express their preference.
As the Interior Minister, I know there were plans to ensure that there's absolute sanctity as far as this process is concerned. So there were certain measures that even the bodyguards of MPs will not carry guns around. And they said it was an initiative from the Interior Ministry.
No, well, I believe that we have a very professional police service led by a very professional IGP. He goes by the rules. Of operations are purely police operations. We do not interfere with that. But we do know that the situation must be such that nobody feels intimidated, and those rules apply to all of us. Yeah, so, and of course, you are also here, part of the democratic process, ensuring the transparency. And we expect that people will go about their voting, civil responsibilities in a very peaceful manner, and we should take it from there. So wish all of us a peaceful and secure voting for today.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so that's the Minister in charge of Interior, who himself is at the Asin North constituency, supporting the IGP's position on the availability of guns and weapons within the Asin North enclave. In a related development, the vice presidential candidate of the National Democratic Congress in the 2020 general elections, Professor Jane Nana Opoku-Agyeman, has expressed worry of the alleged vote inducement in parts of the Asin North constituency. She said if the allegations of vote buying in the ongoing by-election in Asin North is true, then the security agencies must act quickly to arrest the culprits because it is illegal. She spoke earlier to Komla Kluche.
You've witnessed what appears to be some inducement. I mean, this is frontal about your concern.
I haven't actually witnessed it in the sense that I have not seen somebody physically giving whatever to anybody. So I don't have evidence of that. I think it's a lot of confusion. I thought that this is a polling station, there should be queues, so I don't see why there's so much crowding and so much screaming and yelling. So I see that as contrary to what we are supposed to expect at a polling station.
I mean, will this bring some level of mistrust in the process? It does appear. The people who are residents here are saying that there's inducement in that house. They go in there, pick whatever there is they're sharing, then they go and vote, or when they're done, they go back there and take whatever there is.
If this is what is happening, we know it is illegal. And I think the police, the security people are here. I don't know what their own views on the issues are.
The NDC should be worried about these allegations of voter inducement.
Everybody should be worried about allegations of inducement because it goes against the rules. Everybody, those giving, those receiving, if that's the allegation and it is true, everybody should be worried. Because it will interfere with what it is that we are trying to do, what it is that we are trying to practice called democracy. So everybody should be worried. It's not just NDC.
Okay. All right. Many thanks.
Right, so clearly Komla Klutse has been trying to get a lot more views and perspectives on what's been going on in the Assin North constituency. And my colleague Eric Maona-Egbeta has also been stationed there and been moving around since voting commenced, and will be joining us in a jiffy to paint a picture for us 6-7 hours after voting commenced, what exactly has gone on or is currently ongoing in the constituency. Maona, if you can hear me, do take it away and give us a fair or clear picture of how the constituents have been, voting or what has gone on the last few hours since voting commenced. Right.
Just in your shot, really, is what appears to be intense. I don't know what to call it really, whether it's vote buying, because at this particular point, what we're seeing is constituents handing out their voters' ID cards to individuals who are taking them, writing names and the likes. The more and more interesting, because it appears they are separate groups. But this is Asempa Neye inside the Assin North constituency. Up there is where voting is expected to be taking place at. But the area is empty, with a vast majority of the individuals stationed downwards here, where this receipt of voters' ID with the names being written is currently happening at. Eavesdropping to and fro with government persons here, you would realize that quite a lot is happening. I've heard people say that Kokotuabano, Uwiamejiskanamao, and the likes, and it's just indicative of the conversations that we've been having all throughout the morning, and since we started seeing incidents of voter inducement, it appears to be taking a rather interesting twist now, where a chunk of the individuals from exactly what we're seeing have not gone to vote. They are actually waiting, and their names are being taken now, and lots of deliberations, because it is as though that everybody is looking for their own pound of flesh by this by-elections. Yes, development may have come, a number of the roads have been tarred and the likes, but it appears that that is not quite enough. Now they are handing over their voters' ID cards to designated individuals who are writing names, and from there, the expectation is that inducement in one way or form will happen. Joshua Kamba is a former national organizer of the NDC as well. He is here. The Deputy Education Minister, Reverend Tim Fojo, was here as well a short while ago. And so I mentioned up there is where voting is expected to be taking place, but that is not happening now. Let's just try and get a few words from Joshua Kamba, who was shouting that they are sharing money there. Mr. Kamba, yes, we've been seeing they are taking names. You're saying
you are not sharing. Why are you doing that?
Behave. You said they are sharing money.
We saw him sharing money at the back there, and he's here making unnecessary accusations. That money is in his pocket.
Let me tell you. You saw him sharing money.
Yes. Look at where he was standing.
I just one after the other. One after the other. Mr. Kamba, he says you've been. He came to me. He said, I'll come to you for a response. Mr. Kamba, they said you've been sharing money here. How would you respond?
You know what? Hello. Let Oh, you are increasing it. Stop. Wait, no, it's okay. Yeah, I agree. Wait. Listen, you know something? They have been trained. You know the president himself is a noisemaker. So if you have a president who is a noisemaker, and then you see his people making noise, you should understand that this is noise making. So let me say something. Let me say something. I hear. You know. Behave. Ghanaians are listening. Behave. You know what I'm happy about? They have seen their hero. So then go away. If I'm not your hero, then move away. They are interviewing me as organizer, formal organizer, right? An astute politician. Please learn from us. You are a media person. I respect so much. I've seen your reportage, and I'm happy you are covering this. The MPP decides to give some people, they selected, 1,000 cedis each per delegate.
Have you identified one?
Yes, I did. I did. You are not the one interviewing me. You can ask me. The MPP decided that they will give other people 1,000. And when they are following notice that some people have accepted 1,000 and they are giving them 200, then there's a confusion here. I'm sure that's what you are recording. Is that not what you are recording? Are you not recording issues? Are you not recording issues of people fighting over money? Shh, please, I can defend myself. Are you not recording people fighting over money? That's what you are recording. You are talking about live TV, is that right?
We're live on.
Yeah, good. So you are live on air. And I'm saying that this is one of them. When I came, he told me that we have stopped. We have stopped sharing the money.
I told you that.
He told me.
I'm coming. Why is it that still the propaganda
No,
So it is the case that now you're trading accusations. You're trading accusations. Relax. Everybody will get a right of response. We've seen individuals with notebooks taking voters' ID cards and writing names. And writing names. Have you seen that yourself? Of individuals writing them, because we saw persons taking voters' ID cards. Have you seen that?
Let me explain to you. We are talking about people coming to vote. We have canvases that you should go and call the people to come and vote. You have taken people's name and their telephone number. It's a duty for me to call the person that come and cast your vote. So when you see me going to call people to come and cast their vote, doesn't mean I'm giving them money. I have been here since morning. I'm here with the Deputy General Secretary, Antoinette. The two of us. I'm here. I'm a former member of Parliament of Ablekuma Central. Antoinette is the Deputy General Secretary. We have been here. General Opoko Juma has been here. Asante Kedia has been here. All their big wigs have been here because they are afraid of the two of us. Akamba have been sitting here since morning. And they started sharing money. Look at their station. That's what they share the money. The bush. They share money and food. My people ask them if anybody have given food. They are sharing money and food. I said, Nana Jobuka Juma was here. Asante Kedia has been here. All their big wigs of the NDC have been here. But as soon as they see me, they run away.
So what it is that it's a case of allegations being traded. But if you look across, you still see that there are individuals still with notebooks who are taking the names and voters' ID of individuals. And somebody, you're saying that everybody is sharing money. It is not just the NPP.
The fact of the matter is that you cannot just accuse them of taking ID cards or whatever. If you are not witness to where. The fact of the matter is that the book that he's owning, I think he explained to you. Wait. Yes, they are going to vote. When you came here, have you seen somebody taking somebody's ID card from them?
Taking it here. I've seen it.
From who?
I've seen it.
Did you capture it? Did you capture it? No. It is a
and names.
No. It is a
right. And so the accusations continue to be traded here at Asempana here, where voting, like I mentioned, is up there, but all other activities are ongoing. Individuals, the accusations have been quite varied, where they are trading accusations amongst themselves that this person is the one sharing the money, this other person is the one sharing the money. But in your shots, you would have seen persons who've been designated with sheets of papers taking voters' ID cards from persons expected to vote, and then writing names. When we arrived here, we've had persons state quite clearly that Kotuabano Uba Megis Kanamau and the likes. And so that's the situation at Asempana here. It's been across all of the areas that we've visited, but not quite open in the nature that we've seen here at Asempana here, where voting is still ongoing, and it continues to be a smooth process nonetheless, even despite all of the individuals camped down there and the allegations continuing to be traded amongst the two largest parties, the NDC and the NPP. They will continue to trade the allegations. What this simply means is that there could be an element of truth, because we on our own have seen individuals, even in your shots right now, you see persons who are taking voters' ID cards and handing them out amongst many other things. And so, yes, in your shots right now, it continues. Persons openly voters being induced openly here at Asempana here, as we continue here on your election command center on TV3 and on 3FM. But I must mention that all throughout the process, though, it's been smooth, transparent all throughout since voting started this morning at 7 a.m. where we were Dasame. It started quite well. Everything has been moving smoothly up until this point. That was the first point, really, where we saw the suspicion of voter inducement. The cameras were able to capture, but immediately the realization hit that there could be journalists around filming. They moved out of the area, and we've moved to a number of areas. We've gone to Kushia, Akomfidi, Tetre, Nkwanta, and the likes. It continues to be the case. We've been to Asin Praeso as well, where amongst many things, the NDC's regional chair has been alleging the presence of certain individuals who are wielding weapons, a concern he has raised and has asked that the IGP takes immediate action to be able to deal with the matters here. And so we'll just try and pick the thoughts as well of the persons who are here, who've been voting, what they've made of the entire process, as well as the polling area continues to be up there, but all the individuals who would be voting are down here as the deliberations and the consultations, as you'd like it, continues down here, after which the voting can take place. And so we're just going to try and pick a few thoughts as well from some of the individuals who are here, who are live, TV3 and 3FM. What's me Tuaba?
Atumaba. Atumaba.
Na abatuo no we hunu saying.
Oh, abatuo no de. Basabase bia ni ha. Ye ne ha ya tuaba we tu na ba. Na akopa ba bia tan. We tu na ba no akopa ba bia tan. Tie ni basabase bia ye to abatuo ni.
Yate nti ya se oba na eja ya pep kakrama o se bomodin anatoma esro ho ana ase o we hu bibisa.
Oh, media me koto de me hu bibisa. Me to abasa. Because me nimra say bibisa ekoso ana say nimra mu ha ti bi agasa de me hu bisa Obia ma misika me koto abama. Ya me de me pe na me koto maba.
So that's a voter says that he didn't suffer any inducement in any way or form, but it continues to be a smooth process by and by here at Asempaneye. I mentioned the notebooks and the ID numbers being written and the likes. Let me speak to you as well. Then now, so what?
You just said that you should speak to me as well, but suddenly you changed it to L1. Why?
Okay, Yankasa. What?
I don't know what.
Unfortunately, we seem to be having a bit of a technical challenge, but it's a very interesting development there at that particular polling area. We are hoping to get a better connection or a good reconnection to Maureen Egbeta, who was engaging a number of the constituents as regards the accusations being traded by both parties that money is being shared, or there are forms of inducement where they take your ID number, it's written, you go and vote, you come back, then you're giving the money. So, I mean, subsequently we'll get some clarity on that or further details as regards what exactly has been ongoing. But the good news is it's been very peaceful so far, and even during the chaotic counter-accusations, it's still been very peaceful. That's what many of us are hoping for up until the end of the elections. So the deputy minority leader, who has also been in the constituency, Emmanuel Ama Kofi Boa, is optimistic that the NDC candidate for the by-election, James Gyekye Quayson, will win. He was speaking to Maureen Egbeta earlier, where the Elembele MP said that his assessment so far has indicated that the voters are willing to vote for James Gyekye Quayson.
Right, so as a minority, we know that you've developed quite a strategy in terms of manning the 18 electoral areas in the Asin North constituency. We've seen the Honorable Elizabeth Ofosu-Adjare already here. Walk us through the plan, because you're appearing to be scattered all across.
I think that we, as you can see, the plan is that the people themselves are so determined to basically make sure that their voices are heard. So they started very early in the morning, in an ordinary peaceful manner, and it looks like everything is going peaceful. And I think that if you look at the exit interviews with them, it's very clear that they are determined to make sure that the people of Ghana will hear their voice. And I have noted, and I'm quoting the Chief Ahmed, that they are going to deliver their judgment today. And their judgment will be very clear, that Joe Quayson was not wrongly voted for. They are going to send that message again today. And I think that that's what we are seeing. That's why they are so determined. Some of them have been in line since this morning, but they are not wavering at all. And I'm very proud of them.
Right. Pride on your part, but since we got here, we've gotten wind of concerns from some of the individuals that...
And their judgment will be very clear, that Joe Quayson was not wrongly voted for. They are going to send that message again today. And I think that that's what we are seeing. That's why they are so determined. Some of them have been in line since this morning, but they are not wavering at all. And I'm very proud of them.
Right. Pride on your part, but since we got here, we've gotten wind of concerns from some of the individuals that appears to be attempted voter inducement in the Kushia area.
Obviously, you know that we don't have any money to induce. The stories we've heard. In fact, this morning we had a post here mounted by our MPP folks who were attempting to basically induce voters. And I think that thanks to the cooperation of the police, we were able to put a stop to that.
So they had a poster here where they were seeking to do what? Tell people where to go for money?
Well, I think you can find out. I'm not interested in that. I am interested in the determination of the people and how poised they are to vote. That's what I mean. Thank you
very much.
Thank you.
All right, so let's go back to the Asin North constituency. Hopefully we have a good connection as well to Komla Kluche, who is our parliamentary correspondent. This is a parliamentary by-election ongoing, so definitely has to be there and has been monitoring activities. He's joined us live as well. Komla, good afternoon to you. First of all, where exactly are you and what can you tell us regarding the process so far?
Well, Martin, I've been at capital where this institution is having a reaction having a reaction various things have not been able to tell us that this is who is the district capital and this is where it's going to be happening. But the short is the mechanism
Komla, we can't hear you clearly. If you can try and get your, let's try and be sure that the sound quality is good. And while you work on that, let's bring viewers the James Gyakye Quayson, who is the NDC parliamentary candidate himself there, has gone to cast his ballot. I'm doubting who he voted for, I'm sure. Well, so let's find out what happened when he went to vote. Then hopefully we'll get a clearer connection to Komla Kluche.
And that is just it. He's just going to vote, and that's it. Sammy, you're so very confident about...
It's clear, it's written in the stars. God has ordained victory for Honorable James Gyakye Quayson. God is a just God. And today, the injustice that has been perpetrated against the people of Asin North, against Honorable Joe Quayson, will be righted. We are confident.
Your people say that you are sharing money. Are you sharing money?
Have you seen me here sharing money?
You may not be sharing it directly yourself. Have you instructed other people to be sharing money?
Nobody is sharing any money. We have campaigned based on the good works and the track record of Honorable James Gyakye Quayson, his humility. That's what it's about. You understand? And we are confident of victory.
So, this is James Gyakye Quayson over there. You're yet to cut your border. From your monitoring, I mean, is everything okay? But from your monitoring, is everything okay?
So far, the process has been peaceful. So far, peaceful. It's just the monetization. But we are not worried. They can share all the money in the vaults of the Bank of Ghana. They will lose the election because victory belongs to God.
Okay, so that's Sammy Gyamfi, the communications officer of the NDC and also the campaign manager for James Gyakye Quayson. So James Gyakye Quayson, in your short, is going to vote. Now he's going there to cast his vote. And we're just going to be monitoring to see how he's going to be voting from this side. So that is...
The media, are you coming to see your work?
Wow, it's been very chaotic since morning, but then it's good chaos, I should say. Clearly, it looks as though the enthusiasm is still on. Let's see if we have a better connection and audio connection, that is, to Komla Kluche. So, Komla, yes, you were telling us where you are, where specifically you are standing, and what the constituents have been doing since voting started this morning. Take it away.
So, Martin, this is Breku, the district capital of the Asin North constituency, and this is actually where the center of attraction is, because this is where all the operation is going to be happening. This is the Methodist school park, and it has about 4 polling stations, the same polling station that James Gyakye Quayson voted from. A short while ago, we had seen the national organizer of the MPP who had come here. We had also seen Gabi Asaro-Chidako, who was here together with the Deputy Majority Leader Alexander Penny Markins
And then I've seen South MP, Reverend Team for Job. I mean, big political figures are all within this, they come in and go. I mean, in the morning, we've been reporting on that arrest that happened here. There were two. The first one was a gentleman who had done military, the camouflage that the military used. And the suspicion is that, I reported in the morning that there was some operation in one of the houses just behind the police station, far away, where they were doling out cash, allegedly, as inducement and all that. The people raised some alarm, and the police got a bit interested and went in there. The gentleman, I think, was from that house, later came into the where they were voting, wearing the military, and then they had to arrest him. The police have not stated why they arrested him, though. The second gentleman was wearing a cap that had a inscription, some MPP sort of inscription on it, together with another gentleman. He was in the company of the PC for the MPP, Charles Opoku, and there was some altercation between him and then a lady who was saying that irrespective of whatever that you were doing, we are going to vote for Jachi. And I mean, it didn't really go down well with the gentleman. And what we could see was that the gentleman had given him a hefty slap. The police came in handy, and then they arrested him. But I can tell you that all of this is one of the reasons that the big wigs of the MPP have come here and wanted to find out from the Ghana Police Service why these individuals have been arrested, so that it's just their supporters that they about it. I have seen Nana Boateng having some tete-a-tete of the sort with one of the officers, but the police have not spoken officially to any of us. We probably might wait for some release of the sort, because we know in recent times the police have not been talking, except that they issue a statement. That's the only point I will get to know what the crimes of these individuals are, and then what probably could be the preferred charge that may be done to them. But as it is, I mean, you can see this polling station over here appears a bit empty now. The people, I mean, you wouldn't find the crowd over there anymore. It's gone down. There are others far away. People are still in the queue. It's just a little, just 12:30. People are still expected to come in. The combination of these 4 polling stations would amount to about 5,000 votes thereabouts. And this is where a chunk of the votes actually going to be coming from, one would say. So it does appear it's the more reason why there's a lot of stake here. And this is where many of them also believe in the stronghold of the MPP. And of course, over the period, we saw in 2020, for instance, Jachi Kwesi did not actually win all the polling stations over here. And so, I mean, these are concerns that some of the people have raised, but largely, just like my other colleagues have also reported, I mean, it's been peaceful. We have seen Kodeo speaking to this. In fact, Kojo Kumpudi Asante speaking, indicating that from their observation so far, it's been a peaceful one. Many of the people have turned up in their numbers. They have voted, and they are actually expecting that a lot more will come. He did explain that it does appear that the turnout for this one appears a bit high because of the enthusiasm, also because of the hype and the level of interest that is in this one. It's the more reason many people have come in to be able to cast. I mean, either to buy elections record some low voter turnout of the sort, but then this one appears to be seeing some huge enthusiasm. We could wait until 5 p.m. to be able to see, I mean, somewhere around 5 hours from now. In the hinterland, we're hearing also that voting has been largely peaceful. The much talk about issue has to do with the voter inducement and all that. I think a lot of the people are aware about it. However, they still feel encouraged that they need to go to the polls and then vote for the preferred candidate that they want.
Komla Kluche, thank you very much. Definitely we'll be coming back to you, to let us know what else has happened. A few hours down the line, we'll be getting to hear that polls have closed, counting has begun, and then we'll be getting closer to know who will be going to Parliament to represent the constituency there. All right, so the leading members of the NDC have also expressed worry about the allegations of inducement on the in the ongoing by-election in the Asin North constituency. According to them, the sharing of money, among other things, is indicative of the ruling party's disappointment in the people and how they are resorting to money to influence them. Here's John Dumelo, the actor, and Techima North MP Elizabeth Ofosue-Jare speaking on the matter.
Jare is here with us. She's been monitoring the process and even has a baby at her back, which she's tendering to. We just want to pick a few words from her as well. Madam, many thanks. You're live on TV3 as we continue the coverage of this by-elections here. You've been here. How long have you been here? What's been the process like since you got here?
Well, I've been here for 2 days now. It's been good. The campaign was great, and I hope that it will turn out at the end of the voting. Everything is going on well, except that we've also gotten complaints about sharing of money from the government side. But it's in that house that they claim that the money is being shared, but I cannot go there. You understand?
There's a similar instance here as well?
Yes.
There's a house here in Kushia where they're sharing money?
Yes, that's the complaint we've received from some of the voters. But as for the voting, it's going on peacefully. We've been observing since morning. There's not been any incident of riots or anything. So far, so good out here.
But what is the concern for you in the NDC? Because we've been to Tetreng Kwanta as well. There was a similar incident where there's a mention of a house where money is being shared from at Asin Breko as well. There's a mention of a house. Just the polling stations we went by, they pointed us to vehicles where people could go to and take money. For you in the NDC, does it come to you as a worry and the fact that it could tilt the vote in the favor of the government?
How would you describe the vote? So far so good, I can say. But for some areas like Shia that we are in, the MPP are very we found out. But we knew this will happen, and we told the voters a few weeks ago that yes, the MPP will share money, and when they come and share money, they should take the money, but they should not take it. That's exactly what happened.
Apologize for that quality in sound, but clearly that's John Dumelo who is there, since everybody who is somebody within the NDC and the NPP currently in Asin North. So we'll update you. Stay with us. We're taking a quick break. Before we go into business and sports, we'll probably touch base finally before we find out what else is happening there. We'll be back shortly.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to demonstrate to you the superior properties of Flamingo paint as compared to other paint brands on the market. We take equal quantities of Flamingo paint and this ordinary paint. We then dilute them with water. And now, let the test begin. The gentleman on the left is going to apply the ordinary paint, and the gentleman on my right will use the Flamingo superior paint. As you can clearly see, Flamingo has the obvious better hiding. Furthermore, Flamingo has painted a much larger area. You know, one bucket of Flamingo paint is equal to several buckets of any other paint brand on the market. Flamingo paint is made with superior formulation to give superior durability, superior hiding, superior coverage. Flamingo paint, simply superior.
Pepsodent is aware that globally, 1 in 2 children suffer from cavities. That's why by giving her Pepsodent, you're not only protecting her teeth, but also helping her grow up and thrive at every stage of her life with a healthy and confident smile, so she can succeed and achieve all of her dreams. Because every smile matters.
We collect the money. We collect the money. The money don't drop. We collect the money. We collect the money. Jimmy D, Jim Candy, collect the money. Collect the money. Zippe, 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 zippe. Jimmy D, zippe, 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 zippe. Jimmy D, zippe, 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 zippe. You go chop, make a chop. But to my feel from the Kadari. Don't come kind and follow who no road, follow who no road, zippe we day your back. Follow who no road, follow who no road, zippe we day your back, we day your back. Una bayam, una kusada cook, una kusada wangade na muke na muke na muke na.
Send money from ZPay to ZPay and receive 5 CDs cashback. Life moves on and ZPay moves with you.
Everybody knows Acrobato. And if you know Acrobato, it means you know M-Punch Homeopathic Clinic. M-Punch Homeopathic Clinic is my pillar. Let's hear what others are saying about M-Punch Homeopathic Clinic. Who will be careful M-Punch one?
Chesena me ankasa me period no say problems wom ntina ma wo ho idea ma me papa chesena nya asem ketewa na me point no mo hwe me modem no mo hwe bibia na so mo meduro me fire no ene ma won kra mienu foforo kwa na mkwan mu a eba head everything yourself
me ma me no adwodwo eda ho a wontumi nante ene ne ko end point o mama no nura ene ne ho idea watimi asori anante.
That's end point for you of Acrobato. Hello hey ohwehwe what che okay a free bra wo di end point what dance am me call you no me Joseph Sema na enkoyie person na my nyina na magina sebema na me be fie for there the one dey nyina jaresa. You heard everything. I have secret. M-Punch is my secret. M-Punch Homeopathic Clinic. I'm free.
Hello. Have you heard of the Franco air condition specially made to fit the Ghanaian weather? It has authentic capabilities, which is the original sizes ranging from the 1.5 horsepower, 2.0 horsepower, and the 2.5 horsepower. So if you are looking for an air condition to fit your homes, offices, schools, hotels, apartments, churches, it's Franco Trading Enterprise. For bulk purchases, look no further than Franco Trading Enterprise. Franco Trading Enterprise, the home of quality air conditioning.
The TV3 and 3FM Great Expedition is here again. It's much bigger and exciting this time. Experience the breathtaking view of the ever-scenic Kafajato and the spectacular Wuli waterfall. Let's uncover the excitement around these mystical and extraordinary sceneries. Happening on Republic Day, Saturday, 1st July 2023. Come, let's make memories on Republic Day with the Republic Day Reloaded. We head to Kafajato as we hike to the summit. We visited Wuli Waterfall, and then we have a dinner and party at the Bamboo River Resort. This package includes transportation, breakfast, snacks, dinner, music on rotation, plus the whole experience, all for 650 Ghana cedis. For reservation, call 0541 159 715 or 0554 049 778. The TV3 FM Republic Day Expedition. You don't want to miss this.
Sponsored by Heritage Christian College.
Welcome back to your Election Command Center. Let's go to the phone lines now and speak to Dr. Kojo Pumpuni Asante, who is the Director of Advocacy and Policy Engagement with the CDD. Doc, good afternoon. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, good afternoon.
We know that you've been in a constituency at least more than 24 hours observing. What can you tell us you've observed so far since voting commenced?
It has been peaceful. We have stationary observers in about 13 of the electoral areas. We'll get their report at the close of polls, but we've been going around observing a number of polling stations in different electoral areas. And it's peaceful. The queues have been managed very well. Some polling stations are already done about 60% of the voter registered for those polling stations. The police are very visible and making sure there's security all around. So far, so good. Not really anything to complain. And we hope that it continues. And also that the rain holds so that people can get out and vote, and we can conclude this by-election.
Right. Two final questions before you take leave of us. One is there have been accusations and counter-accusations of vote inducement and vote buying and people influencing. Have you observed anything like that?
No. So, I mean, the challenge, and it's the one that I've been trying to articulate, that yes, when you go around, you will find people gathering at somebody's house or whatever, and there is a suggestion that there might be inducement being given out and so on. But of course, you can't enter anybody's house, without being invited. So if the police and other agencies are really interested in dealing with that matter, then you do need to do more undercover work to make sure you get both the seller and the buyer together, because otherwise it's very difficult to stem the tide of the inducement if it's not being done in the open. So there's all kinds of rumors around it. I haven't seen it personally yet, but it's a matter that we have to talk about very seriously.
And my final question.
Very seriously after this election, yeah.
Right. And my final question would be, so from your observations, have you seen any form of voter suppression? Have there been moves from either side to either try people, either not to come out to vote or find other ways of changing their thoughts or minds as they go out to the polls? Have you seen anything like that?
No, not. I think that, as I said, the presence of the security is comfort for anybody. I think everybody should be able to come out and vote. I think in some places it was market day, so people might come later after they tried and sold something during the morning. But in most places, the turnout was quite good. So we expect that will continue.
Doc, thank you so much for your time. Definitely a conversation we'll still be having in the coming days. Dr. Kojo Pumpuni Asante, who is with the CDD, and their sister Body Kodeo is there observing, of which he is a part. And, subsequently, when their final report on what they observed in Assin North is made available, we would all, go through it and subject it to some analysis. You're still on TV3 Live. We are bringing you special coverage of the Assin North by-election as they decide to find out or to vote for who will be representing them in Parliament. In the last 6 or so hours, a lot has been happening regarding, subtle campaign, underground campaigning, which should have ceased more than 24 hours ago. But all that aside, information we've picked up on the ground and from the observer missions and our reporters and different other people who've been there is that it has been relatively peaceful. People have come out to vote and are waiting to see when polls close, counting, sorting, and then final declaration. And so you'd want to stay with us as we ensure that you are part of the larger conversation of what's happening in Assin North. Also, the issue of security has come up quite strongly, but like we indicated, in as much as there have been verbal accusations and counter-accusations, it has been relatively peaceful. Nothing untoward has been reported. The IGP himself is there with his men who've been deployed to ensure that there is enough peace and security in the constituency. So let's take you down memory lane. This particular by-election is the 32nd by-election in the 4th Republic. And out of that, the two key political parties, the NDC and the NPP, have dominated these by-elections. And I'll throw that on your screens shortly for you to also get an idea of how voting has gone on, or by-elections have gone on in the last few years. Mind you that by-elections are as a result of either the member of parliament representing a constituency passes away or decides to step down from that position. Unfortunately, or fortunately, I must say, there hasn't been the other option of a constituent or a citizen of the country, you know, taking an MP to court, especially if he has done something untoward, and trying the laws, you know, to impeach that member of parliament. If that happens and the MP is impeached, that would also pave way for a by-election. So there hasn't been that done yet. However, it looks as though many of the by-elections we've had has been as a result of an MP dying. So on your screens now, for the 32nd by-election, which is currently ongoing, the NPP has won 16 of them. The NDC has won 13. We have had one independent candidate winning an election, and then also the Convention People's Party winning. So that's a clear dominance between the NDC and the NPP. Will today tilt in favor of the NDC or the NPP? By 6, 7 p.m., latest by 10 p.m., we will we'll get to know the specific figures regarding that. So how many people are turning up or expected to turn up to vote? 41,168 registered voters who are expected to turn up to vote. There are 99 polling stations, and then there are 18 electoral areas. And like you heard Dr. Kojo Asante indicate, they have been to about between 13 and 16 of the electoral areas, and from their observations, everything has been smooth and peaceful so far. It is expected, however, that this particular by-election would have quite a reasonably high voter turnout, mainly because of the political activities that have gone on in the last 48 to 72 hours. It's been very, very busy in Assin North, and all of that has generated enough interest, where we are also told that either today or yesterday was market day, so a lot more people are in the constituency. So it's likely that voter turnout will be quite high, and this will be first for a by-election. And hopefully by end of day, we'll get to know that. The police told us that in excess of about 800 officers had been deployed to ensure that there is good security before, during, and after the by-election. And like I indicated, the IGP himself is there, and his job is simple: to ensure that the constituents go about their business, you know, on very normal day-to-day activity, whilst the election is also ongoing. And one of the key things he said after meeting leadership of both sides is that we will provide enough security, so we do not need your bodyguards to carry, you know, any kind of weapons around. There are sidearms, yes, but clearly you do not need a sidearm in a polling station where you're just going to use your thumb to speak. So it is fair, and many have commended the IGP for taking that decision. Although there have been some disagreements with it, it looks as though it's gone down well, and so far we've not had any untoward reports so far. And so we are going heavy on Assin North, and so these are some of the specific areas where the voting is ongoing. For the area council, we have the Assin Breku, where both candidates come from. So James Jechikwesin and Charles Opoku both come from Assin Breku, and this is the first time that both candidates are coming from. It's interesting how nobody is talking about the LPG candidate, the lady in the middle. We'll let you know who the candidates are if you do not know. There is a lady in question. There are 3 people contesting. It's just 2 that have dominated conversations, who are reps of the 2 leading parties. So we have Assin Breku, then Assin Akumfudi, Bediadria, and then Assin Praso. The other areas include Nyinchinso, Dadia Swaba, Dadia Swaba, and then Rabo Asibrim, Wawase, Enja, Brasiakon, Echiano, and then the place in the area called Ghana Camp. And those are some of the very active places in Assin North constituency where political activities have been very vigorously ongoing. There have been reports also of some quick developments that have been happening in the last month since the Electoral Commission declared the seat vacant and then that they were going to conduct a by-election there. It's been very, very busy, and there have been some heavy equipment moved there to try and quickly asphalt some roads or construct some roads from scratch. They have had major challenges regarding the rains that have come in to even make it more difficult to construct those roads. But all through it, it looks as though that some level of progress have been made, and the constituents are going to decide. Are they going to be influenced by these developments that have sprung up overnight, or they know already who they will vote for, so that is nothing to change their minds? It's in the next few hours that will be all clear to us. You're still watching Midday Live on TV3. In case you are unaware, it is not just NDC and MPP that are contesting. There is a third candidate. But this is a brief profile of the candidates so far. Charles Opoku, born on the 6th of May 1983. He is an electrical engineer and businessman. He holds an HND in electrical engineering. He is an associate degree with business administration, University of the People in the United States of America. He's married to Georgina Opoku and has 4 children to himself. And then we have James Jechikwesin of the National Democratic Congress, born October 9, 1952. His education background is BSW Social Services work. He worked I beg your pardon. His education, BSW Social Services, York University, Toronto, Ontario in Canada. He has a BA in General Arts with majors in Political Science and Sociology, also in York University in Toronto, Ontario in Canada. He is a Social Services and Community Development Administrator and the manager as well as a farmer. And he is the representative or the parliamentary candidate for the National Democratic Congress. Coincidentally, 1 hour has just gone past like that, all because of how hyped almost everybody is in Assin North as a result of the election that is ongoing, the by-election. We're taking a break now, or we're calling it wraps for now, but if you go to our social media platforms, the conversation is still ongoing. All the updates we are getting will be put there, so you can also be in the know of what's happening. But at 3 o'clock, the team will be back here to keep you, in the know and keep you along right until the final declaration is done. My name is Martin Esiedudati. Thank you very much for watching. You have a good afternoon, and as always, stay positive. Bye for now.